Can you explain to us what the heck a bioenergetic quantum clinician does?
I get that question quite often. It sounds very complicated. It's not complicated when you get to the point where you actually understand how the human body works. It takes a lot of study and a lot of deep dive into bioenergetics, subatomic anatomy, sub-cellular anatomy, and the interactions in the body chemically, mechanically and physically, hydraulically. All the actions in the body they're all linked, everything's linked, nothing is not linked. Once you understand those aspects, it gets you to a point where you can understand where a malfunction goes, where there's a malfunction. And malfunctions usually present themselves as symptomology or ailments, diseases. And once you've got the background of what the makeup of the body is, it's a lot easier to understand how to fix it at a root cause level based on that massive amount of understanding. So what does a bioenergetic quantum clinician do is they draw you down as far back as they can go to find out the source of an issue. It can be
Root cause stuff.
yes, it can be stress, it can be toxins, it can be various things, environment, light. So many things can affect the human body because it's a bioelectric hydraulic system that has physicality and mechanism in it. So because everything is run by communication, either decentralized electronics or centralized nervous system electronics, and it all runs through water and membranes and insulations and so on. So it's a mass network of energy and transfer of information all the time. So if you have a breakdown in communication between one organ or the other, or a system and another system, you're going to get symptoms, and understanding what's caused it is the key behind what a bioenergetic quantum clinician does. And once you understand those basics, then you can start drawing back to the root cause and then repairing the system, or at least enabling it to heal itself, which is what the body does. Nobody fixes you, the body fixes itself. You just have to enable it and mitigate any harm that is being done.
And a huge variety of symptoms can have similar root causes.
Absolutely.
So in a consultation that's typically an hour and a half or 2 hours long,
Yeah.
we get all the information that we can to try and understand all the influences in this person's life and in their health.
Yes.
So more specifically, can you explain, please, the quantum laws of nature?
Okay. Very simple. The way we operate as beings is the entire system is a collection point, and what it does is it collects electrons, and the currency of the body is negative charge electrons. So it'll collect electrons from sunlight via the skin, through infrared into the mitochondria, which will generate energy from that. Grounding, which is picking up electrons from the ground through the feet or touching a tree, whatever it may be. And then you collect electrons from electron dense or nutritionally dense foods. So basically you've got three sort of collection systems of energy from the sunlight, food and grounding. And those together work in a synergistic way to produce the energy levels that you need in the body, or maintain them. When you get a drop in energy, so if you drop, so let's say the average healthy adult is generating about 400 millivolts of charge and maintaining that level. The minute the millivolt drops down, the minute the millivolt level drops down, you start getting ailments and symptoms. And when they get really low, like below 200, 250, then you start getting things like cancers and massive organ failures, the really sort of bad chronic diseases. So you get a range as the energy level drops down from mild to severe to fatal. you know. So the loss of charge technically is a sort of a direction to look
I think for quite a while science been saying your health and versus chronic disease has got to do with what's happening on mitochondrial level, but it's not just mitochondrial health overall. It's literally the amount of energy that a mitochondria puts out.
Yeah.
A lack of energy is what a disease state is.
Yes, of course. I mean, you know, the sort of the general understanding in medical science is that it's genetic, it's DNA. It's not. There are two types of DNA. One is anatomical DNA, which is the normal DNA, and then you get epigenetic DNA, which is mitochondrial DNA. And the mitochondrial DNA determines health span.
That's from your mother, right?
And yes, directly from your mother. Unusual that the majority of mitochondria come from the mother's line. So the mitochondria generate ATPase, which is a catalyst for other quantum actions further down the line, which create superconductive interactions between proteins, fats and proteins folding in water. And when we talk about water, we talk about fourth state water. It's not just like normal water.
H2O.
Yeah, so that's where the magic happens. No one's really talking about that because no one really understands what that means, and it can get a bit confusing. But the key is everybody has anatomy. So if you look at a body, human body, it has anatomy, whether it's alive or dead. But the difference between being alive and dead is what?
Energy.
Energy. So we get back to the energy drop. So the mitochondria's specific symbiotic relationship with human cells is that it generates capabilities to generate energy, to cycle electrons or tunnel electrons. Electron chain transport in the mitochondria is a specific term for tunneling electrons faster to generate more energy, as well as producing ATP, which opens up other quaternary and tertiary actions in the body that enable other things. You know, your entire sentient experience, your spirituality, your thought, your everything is all connected to that. DNA on its own is anatomical, so it doesn't really predetermine anything. You can have deficiencies in your DNA or SNPs or various things, but they don't necessarily determine health, because, like I said, the difference between a corpse and a living being is energy. DNA tests will tell you the resultant effect of bad health span or bad energy generation. It's not about the DNA, it doesn't work the other way around. So it can be a little bit confusing and counterintuitive to the way medical science look at it, but if you understand that if you take care of the mitochondria, they take care of you, and your health and your life is great.
Yeah. So looking at the quantum laws of nature is light, water and magnetism. Water not referring to just H2O.
No, of course.
In a consult we take a whole look at this being, and based on the symptoms that they're experiencing and the history they have, what are the greatest influences? Why are they not thriving? What's happening to their mitochondria, likely based on their exposure, their environmental toxicity, or the stuff that's happened in their life, their gut microbiome, the nutrients they put in, and the whole picture.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, it's become patently obvious over the last 8 or 9 years that the number one trigger, activator, catalyst in the body is light. So, you know, you get people, oh, I eat a healthy diet and I gym and I take these supplements and I do this and I do that. Without correct natural light exposure, none of those actions actually work. The most important aspect is the light activation, because we are photobiomodulatory beings. The mitochondria work with light. All the cells work with light. The skin, the eyes are a light sensor that tells the skin how to react to light, as well as early morning infrared stimulus and normal light stimulus through the eyes tell the body what to produce, what hormones, what enzymes. So you can have a really so-called healthy life, but still be very ill. And that's kind of what we're experiencing in modern day life, is that people are so-called, I've got a healthy diet and I've got a healthy lifestyle, but they don't. So they'll go eat a great diet, they'll go gym in a blue lit gym with their tackies on, they're not grounded. They will then go from the gym straight to the office and sit in blue light all day, not see natural light at all, and then wonder why they have health issues. And that's why the number one activator of human life is actually light in its natural form. So full spectrum light, predominantly infrared in the mornings and late afternoons, but then your UVA, UVB during the day also activate certain things in the body, melatonin production and various other things that happen.
Mitosis,
Yes, all of this.
your opioid, like feel-good hormones.
Absolutely. So every single thing. Okay, that's not the only components that run that. The gut biome themselves also use light to renovate serotonin, dopamine,
Yes.
because bacteria technically thrive on light. And if you give them the wrong light, like LED screens, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all blue light millimeter waves, they then dysfunction. They get into a dysfunctional phase. So they then can't do what they need to do. So you'll get somebody that sits in front of a PC 10 hours a day and have a healthy life otherwise, but they're still ill. Or they're and overweight. So light actually stimulates the metabolic structure of the body via various pathways. The leptin melanocortin pathway, which speaks to the pancreas and various other parts of the body, which will stimulate the metabolic rate of the body. So just a little bit of stimulation in the morning through the eyes is enough to change the metabolic rate of the human being. So if you're struggling with weight or you've got various issues on that level, just getting your light correct and a little bit of grounding in the morning, obviously putting a good quality electrolyte into your environment is also not a bad idea. Just that light stimulation alone, I know from my experiences, from where I come from as being a really ill human at one stage, the trigger was natural light. I was doing everything right, but I was still not well. Getting on the ground in the morning with an electrolyte, getting good quality sunlight for as long as I possibly could in the morning as the sun came up, continuing with my day, and then repeating that exercise in the late afternoon, last hour of the day, was almost critical in terms of shifting the needle. So you can do good. Obviously there's other aspects like dealing with a good gut biome, healing the gut lining. Nutrition is key in terms of feeding the mitochondria the components that they need. The bacteria then will do that if they correct. So also changing the light environment can change the gut biome to such a degree that your body then becomes almost self-defeating in terms of the fact that the bacteria become pathogenic and feed you an incorrect metabolite. And if you do them correctly, they'll feed you the correct metabolite. So you don't have inflammation and histamine reactions, leaky gut, bowel issues, brain issues specifically, or neurological issues are all linked back to gut biome and gut health. The rabbit hole gets quite deep, but being able to understand where these things can be fixed is really the job of a quantum clinician, because most of the approaches out there won't tell you this. They won't tell you what's causing the problem. They'll try and put plasters onto it, and inevitably you get symptom suppression and disease management as opposed to cures, which is where we're trying to get to. We want to try and get the fullest understanding of how the human body works in order to get to root cause, and then enable healing, which is what the body does by itself when you get out of its way.
Yes. Supporting the body in healing itself with quantum laws of nature and understanding how the body works. So if you're one of those people that feel like, I'm doing everything right, but I don't get the right results, I know I'm not thriving, I'm exhausted, I've got brain fog, I've got this inflammation, all these issues, and the script that I've been prescribed is only suppressing symptoms and not resolving the issue. We love putting these kind of puzzle pieces together and figuring out where in your life is where that major factor is that's causing an all fall down.